a number of young people are leaving schools today. They're graduating and then they're discovering that the world of work is not what they had actually thought it to be. With so many persons who are graduating today, it's wonderful to see so many students. They will have worked hard, they completed their coursework, they got good grades, they made the sacrifices, and those are beautiful things that students will have done. They really put in the time, the energy, and the effort, and now they have graduated, ready to enter into the world of work. But some of them are actually feeling quite scared. Scared in that what they thought the world of work to be is proving to be something else. So some students who have actually tried to apply for jobs are realizing that it's a bit difficult to actually get into a number of those jobs, and reasons being they're asking for experience and so forth. But what some students are discovering is that the jobs that they trained for, that they went to school for, is actually disappearing, or if not disappearing altogether, the skill set that is now being called upon are skill sets that they were not prepared for when they went to school. What some young people are discovering too is that the jobs that they were so focused on in attaining from young growing up are jobs that they will have seen either their fathers or grandfathers enter into, their moms, aunts or aunties went into a specific kind of jobs. So those students will have gone to school with the mindset that these are jobs that males do, these are jobs that females do. So that kind of gender specific jobs. So some students who actually graduated and enter into the world of work and end up in some of those jobs are discovering that it's really not fulfilling, and they will have preferred to do a job that possibly will have been in their minds done by someone of another gender. So the question therefore is, are students being given the information that there are a number of jobs out there, and jobs that are also out there are also morphing or changing, or there are new skill sets that are required in order to do some of those very same jobs that 10, 15, 20 years ago those skill sets were not necessary? Is it that this information is being transmitted to the student? Well, the encouragement is that if you work in the field of education, you might be a teacher, maybe a guidance counselor, or someone who is into career guidance, to help students to realize that there are so many different jobs out there, not just the conventional lawyer, doctor, and that's it. But there are a number of other jobs out there that they will have access to and they can have access to, including creating their own employment. Now, the thing is, even though the doctors and the lawyers are out there and we need them, some students are really unfamiliar exactly what a doctor does. So they may say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, but what kind of lawyer do you want to be? What kind of what kind of patients do you want to treat? Do you want to treat children, adults, teenagers? Do you want to work in a specific area? Maybe it's cardiology or urology. So if you are a student and you are about to graduate, or you have already graduated, these are some areas in which I will suggest you can explore. So take for example the first one, to Google careers. So you go on the internet and you check out different types of careers. So it's possible that you want to get into medicine. What you can do, you can type in types of medical careers, and you might see hundreds of different kinds of medical careers you can get into. So if it's nursing, there are different types of nurses. If it is in dentistry, there are different specialties in dentistry. If it is in psychology, there are different kinds of specialties and niches in psychology. So there's a wide range of information that you can get in one specific career. So yes, there is a specialty, but there might be niches or smaller focused area in those specialties that you might be interested in and can get in and can get into. Another thing you can do is look at sports. So you type in different kinds of sports that sports careers, and you might even see specific types of sports, specific types of careers, management, sports management. Um, you might even see sports psychology. You might even see areas where you can go into sports medicine, into coaching. So there's so much information available when you Google it. Another thing you can also do is to Google the salaries. Now, it's true that based on the specific country that you live in, you may have to do some math with regards to the conversion of the currency. That you Google salaries and you see what are some of the salaries that might be paid to a person who is in a particular area of study or particular field career wise, and you can one determine if that's where you want to go based on how much is being paid, or you can also determine if it is an area that you do not want to go into. I know that some persons, they may say, you know what, high paying jobs, that's not what is going to bring me fulfillment. What is going to bring me fulfillment is I get up every morning, I get dressed, and I go and I actually help people. Or if you're not working directly with people, I sit behind the computer, I do coding, I do analysis, and that is what brings them joy. A matter of fact, some of those very same persons will say, while it's true, they're happy that they're getting paid, it pays the bills, it keeps them healthy, they're able to buy food and so forth. It's just the passion that the job brings. So people will go into specific careers for different things. But what I will say is that whatever career you choose, make certain that you can see yourself in it for a little while, for a few years. It is true that you may change careers, and that's fine. People change careers all the time. You can be a mechanic for 10 years and then decide you want to go to medical school and start studying for medical school. Probably it's not the path that most persons who end up into medical school will take, but there are people who in their 40s or 50s have gone to medical school. You may be in banking or finance. That's what you wanted to get into. Eventually, 5 years, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, if you want to switch and get into school counseling or guidance counseling, you can do that. That's fine. You just have to know that whatever area you choose to get into, one, it's possible that you can change your mind, and that's okay. And two, if you do change your mind, whatever you get into, you work at it and try to find fulfillment in it. What I will suggest to a number of persons who are graduating, number of students, you're graduating, you're leaving school, try to see even before. So if you're listening to this and you have not graduated as yet, maybe you have some time still, you have a few years to go, you probably have 2 or 3 years, or maybe you are graduating soon or have already graduated, but is not as yet in the world of work. Try to see how best you can understand the digital world. I know that a number of us, yes, we use our tablets, we use our computers, we use apps, we surf the internet, but try to see if you can use your technology, for example, in this way. How some software work, Microsoft, a PowerPoint, a Word document. You want to be able to understand how to use the Gmail apps, the drives. You want to know how to send emails. These are some of the things you want to be able to learn, because it is so important that as we move forward in this world of technology, of course, these things will continue to change, they will continue to be upgraded, but having an understanding of how these communication software, how these software that is used for PowerPoint presentations, how these software that is used to type notes or to type words or letters, knowing how they work will be very important, because in the world of work, as a dentist or a doctor or attorney, even as a person who may claim, well, I don't need to work with these different kinds of software because I'm going to be a mechanic, working with Excel or working with sheets, documents, to be able to take notes as to where your expenses are going, what kind of profits you're getting, to be able to chart that will be so important in growing and developing your business. So understanding how these software work or getting some help from someone who understands how they work will be so important as a student who is about to graduate, or maybe you have already graduated. You're looking for work, take this opportunity to play around with it a little bit, understand how these apps and these software work, so that when you enter into the world of work, you will go in there with some additional skills. Graphic designs. There are a lot of free software out there that you can use to practice graphic designing, and that is a wonderful skill that you want to have going forward. You want to be able to do some editing, be it you do editing for vocal editing, or you do picture editing or video editing. Those are some skills that no doubt you will want to at least have some kind of control or command on, because going forward we are living in a digital world. This is it, we're not going back. This is where we're moving right now. And I think the period during COVID-19 has shown a number of countries, for example, in the area of school, in the area of insurance and banking, in the areas of even sales, a number of people, they are now picking up the phone and dialing a number and say, hey, you know what, I want my groceries delivered to my doorstep. Yes, that was always something that was there for a little while, but more so now than ever, you are seeing persons who are doing that. Now, that in itself is a business, and if you want to get into something like that, that's fine. That's actually commendable. A matter of fact, as you look at where the world is going right now, a number of the jobs that we have, one research has showed that 65% of jobs that we have right now will not exist very soon. They will be replaced by new jobs. They will be replaced by different jobs. And we have to be prepared for that movement. So going online as a student and checking out different kind of jobs, or in a year time, what might people need, looking to at some of the issues that the world is experiencing right now in the way of technology, finance and banking, in the way of counseling. Today, even for a number of therapists, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, and even medical practitioners, they're using the technology such as Zoom to talk with their patients. They're using WhatsApp to communicate with their patients, and so forth. You have some options as a student. You have the opportunity to check out careers. You have the opportunity to also talk to your guidance counselor in school, and you also have the opportunity to, yes, still talk to persons who are in specific careers, the adults, to get a sense of how they enjoy their career, but also try to understand what could you see yourself doing for 5, 10, 15 years. Is this something you can see yourself getting up every morning and doing? It does bring with it some level of nervousness. This is not an area you have been in before. You're a young person, you're now graduating, you're now leaving school or probably just left school, and you're looking for jobs. But know that whatever job you choose, you can change in the future if you choose to, but work to the best of your ability. So until, take care, I'll see you again.